Hi Gemini, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. Make sure you subscribe down below if you have not already. So this is going to be your October 2018 love and spirituality reading, and like I said, this will be for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And as you can see, I am behind the camera, but I already explained in my other videos, my energy is just a bit off, so I'm filming behind the camera for just this month, and next month I will go back to being in front of the camera, hopefully. So yeah, I will also be doing an extended video, and I'll leave that in the description box down below so you can check that out after this video is finished. So Gemini, let's see what's going on with you for the rest of the month. When I was meditating on your energy, I suddenly had like a burst of energy, so I feel like this is going to be a very productive month for a lot of you. It looks like you're going to be handling a lot of business, getting a lot of things done, because right before I was meditating on your energy, I was really drained and feeling sleepy, and then as soon as I connected with your energy, I immediately got like this surge, or like this adrenaline rush, so that could be a positive thing. So let's pull for your past position. The Knight of Cups. The Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Put one more. And the King of Cups, okay. All in the reverse. Okay, so with the reversal, with three reversals coming up in the past position, that does let me know that your energy was somewhat off, or you may have been focused on the wrong things in the past. So the Two of Cups is also at the top of the deck, and the Two of Cups is about soulmates, people that you feel very connected to, people who you have an emotional tie with, but mostly this Two of Cups represents a mirror image. So I've said this in a lot of my previous videos. When we meet someone who we are very emotionally attached to, we usually do start to see certain parts of ourselves that we normally don't see, and it could bring out the worst in us, or it can bring out the best in us, or both. So I feel like this is talking about you kind of facing someone or something that you find very challenging. So I feel like this person challenges you, or this situation challenges you in a good way, though. Even if it doesn't seem like it's in a good way, it's still revealing a lot of things about you, and I feel like it's revealing your path to you as well. So I feel like this situation is kind of putting you on the path that you're supposed to be on, especially in terms of your growth, like your emotional maturity, your spiritual path. So this person or this situation is leading you in the right direction, even when it doesn't feel like it. So the Knight of Cups, oh, I'm also seeing with the Two of Cups here that there could be a lot of static between you as well. So it's kind of like miscommunication, like you're like almost like you speak two different languages from this person. Not literally, well, it could be literally, but it's kind of like two people who don't really understand each other, but in a way they kind of do, because with this energy, I'm feeling like it's like two people who are wounded in similar ways, or two people who have like a similar shadow side to them, but it differs, like it manifests in different ways. For example, like a codependent and a narcissist, they have a very similar childhood wounding, but they have reacted to the childhood wounding in two different ways. Like one has become a codependent, one has become a narcissist. So that's why I feel like with this energy, I'm not saying that you're dealing with a narcissist, some of you could be, but mostly I'm just getting the energy of two people who have a lot in common in terms of the way they handle their emotions, or the way that they have been taught to handle their emotions, rooted and stemmed from a similar place, but it's two different ways that it's manifested, and that causes static between the people. Hope that made sense. So the Knight of Cups is here in the reverse. In the traditional tarot, the Knight of Cups talks about someone who's kind of flighty, like someone who is in and out of your life, who shows up only when they want something from you. It could also be like someone who's kind of like a player, who likes to tell you things that you want to hear, but they don't really follow through. So it's kind of like someone who plays with your emotions, or toys with your emotions possibly. So that's someone who you had to possibly get rid of in the past. But I feel like even if that is the person, or even if that does resonate, you still really value this connection, or you value this person very much, is what I'm seeing. You see them as someone who is very hard to find. I feel like this person is also an escape for you, but I don't feel like it's an escape in a good way. I feel like it's an escape in whatever dysfunction happens between you two, it's a way for you to kind of escape from your own problems or your own life. But I do feel like there is genuine feelings here. I'm not saying that you're completely using this person or you're completely using them as an escape, but I do feel some escapist energy on both ends. So both people could kind of be using a connection to not have to face their own issues or not have to heal and grow in their own time. And that's very common with people. A lot of people tend to kind of use relationships and love as a crutch and as a distraction because they know that there are things that they're supposed to be healing or things that they're supposed to be doing, and because they don't want to face that or they don't want to face certain parts of themselves, they will indulge in relationships as kind of like a numbing agent. So that's what I'm seeing with that. The Three of Pentacles is also here, and it's in the reverse. The Three of Pentacles talks about cooperation. So if this is in the reverse, that could mean that the person you were dealing with did not cooperate with you because it just looks like you both are not on the same page. You don't think alike. So the way that you handle certain things or the way that you would handle something, they don't. And then it turns into like a match of, you're supposed to handle it this way, why aren't you reacting this way? But you're two different people, so you handle things completely differently. And it just looks like neither one is willing to budge or compromise. Or you could have been willing to, but it looks like the other person may have been stuck in their ways. And again, take this as it resonates. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be, you could apply this to your career. Like maybe you're in a career field where it's just not flexible enough for you, and that's what it means when the card says like not wanting to cooperate. So that's what I mean when I say it could vary. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be career, friends, family. So just take it as it resonates and apply it. But again, I feel like you are someone who's very wise, or you may be more mature or wise than that person. Also, you could show more vulnerability than that person. So it's kind of like, I feel like whoever you were dealing with or whatever situation you were dealing with could have learned a lot from you, but it's like they weren't willing to budge. But also you can learn a lot from them as well. So I feel like if it's a stubborn energy, it's possible that neither of you were willing to kind of look at yourselves or face your triggers and grow from this situation. I just feel like a lot of stubborn energy, but I feel like if anybody was trying to grow from it, or if anybody was trying to fix it, it would be you, because you're the person that's seeking out, you know, tarot readings and seeking out guidance. So you're more than likely the more open-minded in the connection and willing to fix it and work on it. So the King of Cups is also here in the reverse. So that talks about selfishness, or someone who can be very selfish, someone who has the potential to invest in their relationships and grow them long term and grow them healthy and stable, but it's like their programming causes them not to. So they could want to be a good person or want to be active in a relationship and want to be in love, but it's like their programming is teaching them something, or something has been programmed into their minds that tell them that that's not possible for them. So you could have been dealing with someone who is kind of wounded, or you could be the wounded person that's coming up here, or both. But whatever it is, it's an energy of, like I said, the King of Cups in reverse is someone who just does not believe in their own capabilities, or they don't believe that they deserve happiness, or they deserve peace, so they constantly sabotage it, or they're selfish with it. It's like someone who hoards energy. So you know how there's people who you give and give and give and all they do is take? It's sort of like they're siphoning their energy from you and they're hoarding it and keeping it. That's because that's coming from a place of lack. When somebody is not feeling like they're worthy of love, or not feeling like they're worthy of, you know, a good partnership, or like not thinking that they're worthy of respect, they will kind of take and take and take and not give anything, because then it's like they feel validated as someone that's over giving to them and they don't have to give back much in return. You see what I'm saying? So this is like a selfish energy that you might want to be careful of. And if this is your energy, you might need to evaluate why it is that way. Like, what do you see in yourself to the point where you feel like you should not invest into something? Because yeah, it is good to be cautious and it is good to think things through before you jump into a connection, but sometimes it's not coming from a healthy place. Sometimes we are holding our emotions back and being very selfish with our energy from a place of fear instead of a place of self-love. So that is something to think about. Let's pull for the present. The Empress in reverse. The Eight of Cups. The Two of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so I put that Two of Cups back in the deck and it came right back out. So the Empress card is in the reverse. I think I should move this down. Okay, there we go. The Empress card is in the reverse. So in the traditional tarot, the Empress represents Venus energy. So Venus is the planet of love, and it rules the signs of Libra and Taurus. So if you're dealing with a Libra or a Taurus, this could be their card or this energy showing up in your reading. But overall, the Empress card, like I said, it is representing beauty, and not just inner beauty, but outer beauty as well. It's like really valuing the beauty in life, or really valuing beautiful things. So, for example, when someone practices self-love, or when they truly do love or value themselves, they tend to manifest a lot of beauty into their lives. So they tend to have, you know, a nice home. They tend to have nice clothes. They tend to really take care of themselves outwardly. They tend to have a loving partner. They tend to have just stability and love in their life. Their life just feels and looks more beautiful. And that is because they're manifesting from a place of self-love. Because when you love yourself, it's like you have the courage and you have the confidence, and you have the willpower to go after the things that you want in life and to create the life that you want for yourself. But when you're lacking in those areas, your life could be lacking beauty outwardly because you're lacking it internally. So I feel like you may not feel beautiful on the inside, and that is manifesting into your external environment. And that's something to really think about, because it's not saying that you don't feel good on the inside so you don't deserve good things. It's basically saying, like, just pay attention to the pattern of when you don't feel good, you tend to not take care of yourself, and you tend to let dysfunctional connections into your life, and you tend to not go after the things that you want. Even things like not wanting to decorate your house and things like that. That all stems from things that are going on within. Whatever you feel inwardly, you will manifest it into your external, and you'll take steps towards things that validate that feeling of not feeling good on the inside. So I feel like that could be your energy in the present position, and that's why the Eight of Cups is coming up as well, because the Eight of Cups is a card about walking away. So I feel like it could be meaning to walk away from a person, but it could also mean to walk away from that mindset, because I'm getting that some of you could have been in this mindset for a very long time of just not feeling good about yourself. And that's something that's programmed into you over time. It's a subconscious programming. So whether that was in childhood or from a past relationship, whatever it is that took place that made you feel like you're not beautiful, like you're not a beautiful person, it's time to clear that energy away, because you will start to create more beauty in your life externally when you start to feel beautiful on the inside. And that doesn't just mean your physical appearance. That means appreciating yourself, appreciating your strengths, just appreciating every positive trait about you and acknowledging them, instead of kind of beating yourself up and only looking at the negative traits. And that's hard to do, especially if we've come out of a cycle with someone who is selfish. We can really start to pick ourselves apart and ask, you know, what's wrong with me? Like, why couldn't they treat me well? What did I do wrong? And instead of looking for everything that's wrong with you, I'm getting that you need to start looking at everything that's right with you, because then you'll start attracting more abundance and more beauty and fulfillment into your life. So the Eight of Cups is here, like I said, and that talks about walking away. And I feel like some of you are having a hard time doing this, walking away from your past self or your past thoughts. I feel like your thoughts could possibly be just kind of like overwhelming you and drowning you, your negative thoughts about yourself. And it is very important that you shift this state of mind. And the best way you can do this is honestly reprogramming your subconscious. I have a whole video on my main channel. I'm not going to get into this reading because the reading's going to go on forever. I'll link my subconscious mind videos in the description box down below. But I do feel like there's a need to reprogram your mind, because a lot of you are not acknowledging your strengths and your talents. And what I'm getting specifically is that some of you need to nurture any talents that you may have, and that will boost your confidence. And also, what I'm getting is that this other person is going through something very similar. So whoever you were dealing with is going through a very similar type of energy of feeling like they're drowning in some way, something's overwhelming them, the same way something's overwhelming you. It could be the weight of this connection, it could be on both of your minds, and that's what feels overwhelming because you had to walk away from the connection. But overall, I do feel like it's more so walking away from parts of yourself that keep you stuck and keep you limited. So really starting to appreciate your beauty within, and really, what else am I getting? Appreciating the beauty within and being willing to climb. That's an odd message. Being willing to climb. Let me read from the guidebook, the Eight of Cups card. Being willing to climb. I'm guessing that because I'm hearing being willing to climb, so I'm guessing that that's talking about being willing to climb up, to self-actualize, to become the better version of yourself. So let's see here. The guidebook says, keywords: maze, stagnation, sinking, lack of clarity, and emotional blockage. Two sets of arms emerge from cloudy waters. A stairway is within reach, but it doesn't appear to lead to the inviting gateway above. The gateway represents completion, accomplishment, and reaching our goal. We are experiencing the sinking feeling which accompanies defeat. We have little energy to complete the task at hand and begin to let ourselves sink. It is time to pull up our socks and stop indulging in lethargic ways of thinking. This may be related to health, relationships, or career, and it needs to be addressed directly. Repeat the mantra, inspiration lies deep in my heart. So yeah, that's what I was getting when I said that some of you are needing to nurture your talents. I feel like that's what the energy I was picking up on. It's going to kind of pull you out of this funk and help to build your confidence. But whatever these issues are, like you heard in the guidebook, it's important to face them head on and to not avoid them, because I feel like a lot of this has to do with your internal state and how you see yourself. Because how you see yourself will also shape the way that you see the world and you see other people, and it will lead you to making certain decisions that impact you directly. So the Two of Cups is also here in the reverse. So in the past it came up in the upright, and now it's in the reverse, and that means that it went from a connection that you saw as valuable or that you want to continue to a connection that you no longer want anything to do with. And usually when that happens is because this person has showed us a side of themselves that we don't like, but also they have showed us a part of us that we don't like. So it's fine to separate from the person, but be very careful not to judge them very harshly, because when you judge them harshly, sometimes you judge yourself harshly. So there may be a need to see things from a more neutral standpoint, like not playing the blame game, not thinking about what was done wrong to you, but kind of thinking about it as like, okay, what did I learn from this? How did I grow from this? And how can this make me a stronger person? And if you were in a very abusive situation, obviously I'm not really talking about that, because that's a whole different type of healing. I'm talking about people who were in situations that, you know, you just did not see eye to eye with the person. They may have been selfish, and you are needing to release that energy of kind of feeling possibly resentful or just really holding on to any type of judgment or blame will keep you stuck. And that includes judgment and blaming yourself. So let's pull for the future outcome, and we will clarify those in the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ace of Cups. So the Eight of Wands talks about slowing down your energy, which is interesting because I think I mentioned at the beginning of the reading that your energy made me get up and want to be productive. So I'm thinking that what I'm getting is that in the near future, you may be experiencing this feeling of sluggishness, and you're needing to be productive. But we'll look at that in the extended. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune here, so that talks about a cycle that is not coming to a close, or it's trying not to close out for some reason, but we will see what that's about. And then the Ace of Wands is also here, so that is a fresh start and a new beginning, so that's definitely positive. So we will clarify all of these in the extended. Thank you for watching, and the link will be in the description box down below. So I will see you guys over on Vimeo. Bye.